so many stars, so much fire lighting, and also the actual stadium itself. Hey, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Duffy Duck here once again.
And I'm Pinkie Pie here. Hey every pony and every brownie out there, and we are back for some more of the Maxi Toys videos.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more Let's Play of Mario Party, the top 100 for the Nintendo 3DS.
So last time we actually did manage to showcase off the final 3 minigames that we actually did show off in the 100 minigames has to offer,
from the forms of, Block Star, Stick and Spin, and of course, Jaw Drop.
And today for this episode is the fact that we're going to be moving on into the next mode in the lineup, which is the forms of Minigame Match.
Play your favorite minigames on this simple board.
Now you're probably thinking that this might be something related to the side mode of this particular game.
Well, it turns out, as you can see here, that it usually says play your favorite minigames on this simple board, means that we can actually just manage to play through the entirety of the actual game board aspect of the top 100.
Now you guys are probably thinking that this might be something to do with the returning, classic elements of the forms of the retrospective of every single Mario Party boards from, 1 through 10.
But unfortunately though, that's not seem the case though. But even then though, let's go ahead and get started, shall we? By the forms of we're going to be selecting ourselves
Mario!
In addition to that though, we'll keep Luigi and Wario for the time being, and as from the fourth and final opponent, let's go ahead and select Waluigi. And for this particular computer opponent's difficulty, we have to stuck with hard mode because we just feel like it. And also just trying to showcase off on that. And of course, if you couldn't tell already, as you can see here, you can set the game to last from 10 to 50 turns, very much like how it does it for Mario Party 3 through 8.
So yeah,
no, not 8. It's the forms of 3 through 7.
Yeah, because I was gonna be thinking of the exact same thing as you accidentally said though.
Oops. Anyway, so as you can see here, that we can't usually select just only a multitude of boards, unlike as far as we're expecting it to.
But even then though, let's just go ahead and set up to 20 turns.
And before you actually jump into the actual main modes of the actual, minigame match, including the likes of the championship battles as well, as you can see here, we got ourselves our minigame packs to sort out with. Like,
you can set minigames to play on the map, and then which one you will pick.
So, you have quite an altitude of catalogs for this particular minigames themselves. We got N64 pack, ranging from Mario Party 1, 2, and 3.
Nintendo GameCube Pack contains Mario Party 4, 5, 6, and 7 minigames.
And lastly, Wii and Wii U Pack from Mario Party 8, 9, and 10.
Kind of odd there to actually just include just only Wii and Wii U Pack, because originally it was supposed to be able to actually just qualify for actually put in a Wii U Pack separately, but because of both Mario Party 8 and 10 has a small amount of minigames, so that might be some consumption to that. In addition to that though, we got Action Pack,
Brainy Pack, Sports Pack,
Racing Pack,
Skull Pack, and of course your favorite packs 1 through 3,
and of course Random Pack.
And we got some unlockable ones here and there as well, like Lucky Pack and Master Pack,
Reflex Pack, Chew Down Pack, which is basically based off on food,
and 1-on-3 Pack, Frosty Pack, which is usually a snowy environment mini games based off of,
and Woodland Pack,
and Beach Fun Pack, and 2-on-2 Pack, and Goomba and Koopa amiibos.
Now you never heard the fact that this game does have, once again, amiibo functionality, very much like how it does in Mario Party 10,
in addition to Mario Party Star Rush.
But even then, although we'll get to more details about those kinds of stuff for later down the road,
but for now, let's go ahead and pick,
let's pick the, no, not the racing minigames, because it has a speeding bullets minigame, so we're not going to go for all that.
Especially with the skill pack.
Let's just go for, we're not going to go for Bloom Busters.
Let's just go for Nintendo 64 pack.
And of course, every time when everyone else uses it,
we're not gonna let Luigi go ahead and use the,
It's gonna do the exact same thing for Luigi, doesn't he?
I think we'll pretty much does it for now. From the bottom screen, we got Nintendo 64 pack, which is ourselves.
Luigi picked Brainy Pack,
Wario Master Clay, Wii and Wii U Pack, and Waluigi picks Action Pack.
So yeah, let's get started.
And of course, much like if you ever played through Balloon Bash mode from Mario Party Star Rush,
this is how the minigame match looks like.
So basically, we actually ended up in this particular bare bones board. Now I say bare bones because, well, we'll get to that in a second or later.
Cross the board and collect the most stars to be crowned superstar.
You all get to start with 10 coins each. Good luck.
So it's basically kind of like how it does it in Amiibo Party, but in forms of Mario Party 10, although except the fact that you start with 20 coins this time, well, at least in Mario Party 10.
And we got us a star balloon. Ooh, a star balloon. Get here as soon as you can. Every time you reach it, you can get a star for 10 coins.
So this particular concept is very familiar to you guys, because first off,
as you can see right there, that the element of this particular mode is something similar to how it does it in new forms of, Balloon Bash from Mario Party Star Rush, like the way you can able to actually walk around the board every time, anywhere.
Although, except the fact that, well, the actual premise of the actual, minigame match concept-wise is the forms of the exact same elements as of how it does it in Star Rush.
Because basically what you can do here is the fact that everyone else can move at the exact same time.
Which, you know, is a huge plus and what have you. Kinda like how it does it in Star Rush.
Except the fact that there aren't any board environments around here.
Well, at least it's, the only board you can only get in this game is just this board alone.
Which, that makes me kind of feels a little bit too much upsetting, because even then though, just like the character roster, that it makes me so much more of an agonizingly bad, or in this case, just, you know...
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
So, as you expected, that if you reach the star balloon like Waluigi, who you managed to go right there,
you get yourself your first 3D star, as you expected it to.
So, even though, despite the fact that, you might be thinking this might be something related to Star Rush and doing the likes of in this, mode alone,
except the fact that the movement, especially after the dice roll finishes, is now a lot slower this time.
Oh yeah, we got ourselves the double balloon, or the star balloons, I should say.
And of course, we got ourselves the minigame balloons, makes a return from Star Rush.
Oh, a new look, a new balloon right there.
And basically, you're probably thinking that if you might be able to actually, oh yeah, once again, much like in Star Rush, is by simply we need to use our item while pressing the X button.
And the difference is here this time around there, but in forms of between Balloon Bash and minigame match, is that you can now actually carry 3 items instead of 2.
Well, which makes it a little bit of a more of an improvement over the likes of Star Rush's item system.
Well, because we already had just only 2 item slots ever since Mario Party 9.
And also Mario Party Island Tour,
and also Mario Party 10, and of course, Star Rush.
So yeah, we come to a minigame roulette right here, and Toad is trying to say that this roulette decides which minigame to play.
So yeah, if you manage to claim the minigame balloon either 5 or 10, much like in Star Rush, that you can simply just able to actually just anticipate which minigames you want to go for.
So let's go ahead and take,
let's go for, Shy Guy Says here.
And basically, every time you select a minigame, the arrow will indicate the roulette starting.
And basically, we actually anticipate for a minigame, like selecting,
as you can see, we got ourselves, Waluigi got himself the crown token right there.
This means it actually represents the actual double amount of coins you can get for this point. So even then though, like,
if Waluigi wins this minigame, he'll claim 20 coins instead of the usual 10.
Because normally the minigame reward system is pretty much exactly the same as how it does it in Star Rush Balloon Bash mode.
But, you know, you get the idea what the minigame match mechanics looks like in this particular title, is that it feels exactly almost identical to Star Rush, because even then though, the exact same engine, and especially noticeable that every single opponent moves at the exact same time, although except the fact that I found the actual, and also not to mention though, that the actual premise of this board is basically just more accurately grid-based, so...
Yeah, that's all I usually can go for that point or another.
And of course, if you ever guys are thinking that if you manage to able to play those minigames, because they are sure enough, you can play tons of minigames to your disposal, but except the fact that in order to actually play minigames is that you need to claim the minigame balloons, very much like how it does in Star Rush. But except the fact that you can only play minigames when you get through turn 3 and onwards, so that makes me a little bit think of, well, a little bit more too much of it, way overstayed a welcome.
So anyways though, we're still getting lower rolls.
And what makes it all worse compared to how it does it in Star Rush to me, though, is the fact that, not to mention, this game only has one board, compared to how it does it in Star Rush. It usually has like 15 boards in Toad Scramble mode, and 3 boards in Balloon Bash, so that makes a grand total of 18 of them. So, why in the hell they actually did manage to include just only one board in this game? Because we're expecting to originally trying to be making this game to be a classical returning aspect of every single Mario Party game, so returning from each of the boards. But turns out it doesn't, because even then though, it just makes it incredibly bare bones and plus a little bit too much more bloomy looking. Well, it's nothing bloomy or anything, it's just a little bit too lacking this time. Of course, there are some spaces needs to be worth mentioning though, like these item shops for instance, that once again, much like how it does it in Balloon Bash from Star Rush and Toad Scramble, is that you can actually buy items with this. So, and also in addition to those kinds of stuff, we also got ourselves the question mark block spaces, where once again, if you land those, you get yourselves a freebie item if you manage to able to actually classify for, you know, getting something useful. And also, there's also the exclamation mark space, which actually activates the event spaces, which it can do something completely random to you if it's either good or bad thing to you. So even then though, we'll get into more details on these spaces for later, but for now, Jigsaw Jumble time. Alright, so let's go ahead and place those correct pieces. The previous record that we've got is, you know, 24 seconds and 20 milliseconds, so that's a pretty good run ever since, you know, Minigame Island. So, yeah, you get the idea what this little situation goes. It's basically Star Rush 2.0, except with, well, not much anything else improved here. Although, thankfully though, we got ourselves our new record right there, so that's pretty sweet. And I'm guessing Wario takes 2nd place, and Luigi claims 3rd place. Sweet, lovely, doubly. Yup, when it comes to the new records department right there. So, yeah, as you can see right there, that Luigi managed to got the crown token above of his head, means that you actually get yourselves a double amount of coins, depends on what position you're in. Because of that though, you need to be letting the arrow land directly onto your minigame spots, so just in case you get yourselves a, well, a crown token means you can get a double amount of coins. And later on throughout the particular portion of the minigame match is that you can able to actually get yourselves 3-star balloons, as you can tell already, so... And there's also the dueling glove, which that item makes a return for Mario Party Star Rush, so well, it's worth mentioning for that. Oh, wait a minute, select a rope? Are you kidding me? Oh, what's wrong? I remember this particular part. That actually technically brings back that particular segment in Minigame Match specifically, but in forms of how the fact that this particular event is something is a little bit similar to how it does it in one of the most luck-based minigames in Mario Party 5, and that is in forms of Get a Rope, which by the entire premise of that minigame can be explained like, pull a rope and someone randomly wins it. Oh yeah, differences here between Star Rush this time is the forms of how the fact that when everyone lands on the exact same spot, normally they're trying to deal with a coin duel segment here, but except the fact that they don't do that this time, because even then though, what they do this time is the forms that they actually now able to pull off a tight squeeze bonus, which, although the award itself is nothing worth anything, it just only gives you just only 1 coin and that's it. So next minigame we have is Peak Precision, which we already played every single minigame spot less far, so even then though, we don't need to worry about these particular moments notice if we actually showcase off.
3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, goodness gracious me! Oh god, my camera's shaking. Alright, so unless we actually got ourselves a new record, 9 seconds and 13 milliseconds, and I'm pretty sure these opponents did a lot more improvement this time. Yeah, ever since the very beginning of Minigame Island. Yeah, because of that though, you know, the computer difficulty throughout the beginning of Minigame Island is pathetically easy at first, but then it gets later on tougher as you expect it. So, yeah, there are quite a few things I want to mention for this point, guys. Today was actually informed of a 9th of March 2018, so that means yesterday that Nintendo Direct has finally announced, but it informs of the 8th of March. Now, you guys are probably thinking that we will discuss upon these kinds of stuff like that, but unfortunately we have to wait until when,
Sonic can actually continue on with, you know, the Kingdom Hearts playthrough right there. So we got ourselves the next sequence here.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, that announcement for some reason was there during the likes of these dual segments here. I don't know what it is. I think this is probably because it's only happening in the forms of the UK version, as you can see here. Or was compared to how he does it in the Japanese or the American version, or especially noticeable with any other versions for that matter. It all depends on what the regions they lived in. Somehow they managed to get the announcer during the likes of these minigame events. So that makes it a little bit more stimulating, or in this case for this matter, kind of a little bit odd there. And of course we got ourselves a Dash Mushroom, which even then that item makes a return for both Mario Party Island Tour and Mario Party Star Rush at the same time. Well, once again, we'll actually discuss upon these item system real quickly in Minigame Match. For those of you who actually missed out our playthrough of, you know, Mario Party Star Rush for about a year ago, basically, here's how it goes. Super Mushroom or Dash Mushroom even will once again add up to your 3 additional space movements, kind of like how it does it from before. And also, oh, we're doing Don't Look again. Since we got ourselves a perfect rating last time, so I don't know if we can actually pull off ourselves the perfect rating again, but we'll see what happens.
Start.
So anyways, the Dash Mushroom allows you to actually add up to your 3 space movements, much like how it does it in Star Rush and Island Tour from Perilous Palace Path. And also there's also a Golden Mushroom, which actually allows you to add up to 5 movement spaces. And also there are some other items here now as well, like the Dueling Glove. That Dueling Glove makes a return ever since Star Rush Balloon Bash, which once again allows you to be able to anticipate the mini-duel events, but in forms of actually winning those coins from everyone else. So, I'm presuming it's once again just only 5 coins instead of like, I don't know, 3 or something like that? Maybe, I don't know about you, Pinky. Alright, not doing too bad right there. Alright, okay, it's down. Okay, at least everyone else got screwed over, much like it does in last time. Down again? Okay, it's down again. Up? And now we got one more left until we get perfect again. Left. Yep, perfect.
Finish. Perfect.
Sweet victory of our perfect rating for a second time. So anyways though, aside from Nintendo Direct, actually I'll get into more details onto that. Again, we're not gonna get into that conversation until when Sonic will eventually come back onto the Kingdom Hearts Final Mix playthrough. But anyways though, aside from Nintendo Direct did happen yesterday, and truth be told, that throughout yesterday's Nintendo Direct, they most likely focused on let's just say Mario Tennis Aces, most likely, and also some other announcement games on some more information about the upcoming Nintendo Switch games and all that stuff. And basically, that's how this will go, is the fact that they add in a lot more new playable characters in the forms of Mario Tennis Aces. And, oh great, we got ourselves a duel for Star Balloon this time. Oh yeah, there's something that's worth mentioning, is the forms of, if you manage to bypass those little character stamps here. Oh good, we got ourselves a really easy duel event.
3, 2, 1.
Got it! Alright, we've now win. We won for our dominations throughout. So anyways, now we got ourselves our 3-star balloons here, so that means we can actually get up to 5 stars. So there are some other items that we're probably familiar with, but not until when we get to the item shop throughout. So, anyway, so now we've got that. So, yeah, technically speaking, what if I play this game on my own time for a second? And, turns out that I've somehow managed to realize is that I actually lost that particular... Well, not so bad for the first time, but whenever I did done the 50-turn events, but in forms of, you know, minigame match, I lost by Waluigi for about huge margin of stars, which even then, though, that really ticked me off the most. Anyway, so we got ourselves roll call, thanks to Luigi did manage to, I suggest, picking it. And once again, we have to count these bob-arms instead of, like, boos, toads, and everything. Which reminds me that I feel really, sad about the fact that they don't bring back the other variations of the minigames themselves. Like, normally in Mario Party 2 actually has 3 different, versions of some of these minigames. Mainly, for example, in Roll Call, that normally you get 3 stages, which are Bob Arm stage, which I found is really easy. And also the second stage is the boost, and also there's Toads, and normally the boost might actually be the medium difficulty of any kind, and then the Toads will have to be the hardest stage throughout in Roll Call. Probably because of the fact that they sometimes concentrating on the actual mushrooms themselves, which even though the mushrooms, the actual main mushrooms, don't count at all. Oh, we're off by 1, ba-bum, if I like to say so for myself. But even though, that's only because I kept on thinking of something else for a moment ago. Anyways though, so that's Roll Call done. For, at least for a second time anyway. And once again we got ourselves 10 coins. So, you get the idea what this particular minigame match plays out. It feels exactly like how it does it in Mario Party Star Rush, except, well, a little bit lackluster this time around compared to how it does it from before. In fact, speaking of such though, look at the dice block right there. It's actually a lot similar to how it does it in Star Rush as well, which I found is kind of a little bit odd there. But even then, that's only because they've managed to develop exactly the same thing for most of the exact same stuff people who are actually behind Star Rush of all things. So yeah, with that being said, with the stamps as you can see here, we got ourselves Goomba, Shy Guy, and Koopa Troopa stamps. If you manage to collect them all, as will Warrior Gods right here, if you couldn't tell, you can actually claim yourselves 30 coins, which is quite a lot of these coins rewarding from. So, naturally speaking as such though, it might be very useful if you want to able to gain yourself some stars desperately. But a lot of times though, you might accidentally get yourselves lower numbers than that, which even then though, that really throws me off right there. But even then though, let's just go ahead and get ourselves our item right here. Oh, please don't you ever dare. Oh, phew. Thank you, Luigi. But at least we do need to worry about Wario and Waluigi at the same time, because the only thing that makes it a little bit difficult to win in this mode this time around compared to Bloom Bash is that, you know that this game does have amiibo support, very much like how it does in Mario Party 10 and Mario Party Star Wars. Does that work? I don't know. It's hard to tell. But even then though, thanks, I suppose. But, normally in Star Rush you can do a lot of these features by the forms of the amiibo functionality. But in this game this time around though, it only has a limited amount of amiibo usage again, which it makes me feel like a kind of a more accurately disappointing range. But even then, that's only because we're so used to with, you know, the old school Mario Party games, and why is Wario going that way? And sometimes it's hard to tell that where the computer opponents are going to be going again. But even then, that's only because of how the fact that, well, as you expected, they might be pretty pathetically at first, but still, it can't really deny by this whole particular, worth noting for, anyway. I should probably mention about this right from the get-go, is that not only does it actually announce some of these new stuff upon the, you know, Mario Party, no, not Mario Party, Mario Tennis Aces, they actually bring back some of these characters in. Like, they've already, bringing back, well, they've already bring Mario and Luigi, Wario and Waluigi and Mario Tennis Aces upon releasing the Nintendo Direct events, ever since during about, 2 months ago. Yeah, from the Nintendo Direct Mini. And, they also managed to bring back, Rosalina ever since, you know, Ultra Smash, Princess Peach, Princess Daisy, Yoshi, and Bowser. So, yeah, and Donkey Kong as well, because, you know, Nintendo Direct Mini.
3, 2, 1, go!
Alright, time to do the Mecha Marathon. Come on! Beat these, Hat Brothers here! It's a shame that we can't able to actually just, you know, trying to get a multitude of playable characters playing on these old school Mario Party games all over again, but with new, makeover, but I'm still really complaining about that. Which, even then, we'll get into more details about this kinds of stuff when we get to the final thoughts of this particular, you know, playthrough. Oh, sweet, we got a new record. Yeah, a lot better than the likes of, the better attempts or a few on whatever. So, actually, to clarify for this 1 point Pinkie Pie. Well, what's that exactly? Recently when I managed to play for myself, oh, by the way, I managed to get myself my physical cartridge-only version of Mario Party 2 at long last. And, turns out whenever I played that particular, minigame called Mecha Marathon,
I believe there are some noticeable difference between the original version of Mecha Marathon than the likes of the top 100 version of the Mecha Marathon minigame. Is that in Mecha Marathon in the original Mario Party 2 rendition, you can actually go further away, further and further and further as you progress for the button mashing. And normally you have to go up to, like, more accurately, 40 or more centimeters. And meters as well beyond that. But in the top 100, it always stops at specifically 40 centimeters long. So anyways, let's do Shell Shock next. So yeah, we don't have to worry about this little tilting motion controls crap or anything like that. So anyway, let's see what... Okay, we got Hexagon Heat, thanks to Waluigi here. So anyways, there's also another thing I'd like to discuss upon for this point, folks. You know in last year, or in this case a couple of months ago, that, you know, Okami did manage to get ourselves a HD re-release on the forms of the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Apparently that there's actually also another new game that's about to be coming out on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One as well. That is the forms of Burnout Paradise. That game was now for about 10 years old. I'm pretty sure it's 10 years old, ever since Xbox 360's release, and even PlayStation 3 release. Oh, so it looks like both Luigi and Waluigi did manage to get touched by lava thanks to Warrior's ground pound ability, but somehow both Luigi and Waluigi managed to share the exact same coins each other, well, except the fact that Waluigi got himself, you know, some coin bonus thanks to that little crown token. So yeah, get the idea. I think we hold up to 55 coins at this point. Okay, so turn number 13. Any star balloons yet? Even then though, as far as I realized about something, no one else actually grabs that power star balloon. I'm guessing because most of those computer players always prefers more, you know, star balloons than just only one. I'm guessing that's why I'm going to be making the consumption to that. And I'm guessing those three players are going to they're most likely going after this, minigame balloon or what have you. And we got another golden dice mushroom. And somehow we can't actually use 2 mushrooms at a time, or in this case 2 items at a time, unlike in Mario Party 2, of course. That's only because of how the fact that they make the broken, or make the item system kind of a little bit cheating at one point or another. But, naturally speaking, it might be some little bit more controversial of any kind. Oh no, Bumper Bubbles is on here. Thank goodness we actually did get the majority vote here. So, anyways, with Burnout Paradise, by the forms of the PlayStation 4, or this usually now calls it Burnout Paradise Remastered, I'm assuming that, that version actually contains every single DLC pack that usually contains, and also not to mention, they actually got the release date as well, by the forms of... We always getting 4th on Shell Sharks. Oh, I wonder why. I think it's probably because we concentrated on one opponent on the exact same method of time, but ultimately we'll take 4 coins better than just only 2 coins for sure. I hate when computer opponents did that. Or especially noticeable when their computer opponents are progressively tougher as you think. Alright, turn number 14, so another set of minigame balloons here. And I'm really hoping if we can actually aim for not only the stamp, but also some shopping mechanics as well. There we go, I think 5 will be okay, because normally we can actually buy something for once. So let's check it out. Because yeah, there's only one item shop space in this particular board map itself. But again, this is only one board, and that's my only major gripe I have with this. Oh, this is something familiar. We got ourselves not only Mecha Fly Guy, but also, well, we've already mentioned Golden Dice Mushroom or Golden Dash Mushroom, but also Genie Lamp. That's very familiar. Yeah, that item did technically make a return ever since, well, both Mario Party 2, Mario Party 3, and Mario Party 4. So yes, this game does actually brings back some of the older items ever since the Mario Parties all passed. Like, for instance, we got a Magic Lamp, as I mentioned earlier, and also there's one from, Bowser's suit of any sort, but even though we'll get to more details onto that when we get to the extra stuff and what have you, and we got picked again. Nice one. Yep, nice one indeed throughout. But even then, let's just hoping if we actually win this time, instead of, like, continuously losing, unlike Shell Shock.
I think that's a perfect example, Pinkie Pie, that we actually did majority voting for Nintendo 64 pack because of nostalgicness.
Well, at least specifically for, you know, the hardcore Mario Party fans out there.
Alright, so now we've managed to claim our victory ourselves from this.
And I kind of wish it has more stages than just one, like the lava environment and all that stuff. Like, you know, we can add in, you know, the ice physics level,
or especially noticeable with this grassy beach tropical theme setting, with these little abundance of hill ramps and all that stuff.
And I think that's about it.
And I think that could be the same applies. I kind of wish there's more courses in the forms of slot card derby instead of just only one course. But even at that might be some consumption towards throughout. So anyways, let's go ahead and obtain this Koopa Troopa stamp.
And it looks like both Wario and Waluigi doesn't get to the points for that star balloon just yet.
Still have no idea why they keep on getting lower rolls than that.
Oh, of course, Luigi managed to get himself his minigame balloon after all.
So, he almost there to reach over 100 coins.
I'm really hoping we can catch up to coins though.
Anyway, so we got 2 minigames left to pick from, Dizzy Dancing or Shy Guy Says. We have to go for Dizzy Dancing for this one.
Okay, so let's see who's gonna get picked.
Oh, dang it, we got Honeycomb Havoc.
A little bit dragged on for that minigame, but we'll just try and make a minigame slightly faster than that.
Alright, let's get this over with.
And of course we're actually going to be going way behind.
I'm guessing it was probably because we're actually on first place or something.
So anyway,
with that being said though, there are some missing stuff. I wish if this particular game will actually get ourselves to returning, like, you know, multitude of stages, but in forms of, you know, slot card derby and all that stuff.
And also, you know, the ones with, oh, don't you dare, thank you.
Yep, so that we can able to survive for this throughout.
And Waluigi gets a beehive, for sure. Because I remember that I usually teach Rainbow Dash and Applejack decide to actually just completely avoid the beehives themselves.
Oh, don't you mean back in during the likes of Castlemania? Or in this case, kind of reminds me like a Castlevania's name, but I digress.
So yeah, I found the minigame match to be a slightly more of a disappointing aspect of the top 100 because there's not much variety in them.
So it's just basically just only one board.
Like, do you remember how the fact that during the likes of, I would say Mario Kart games, ranging from Mario Kart Super Circuit, DS, Wii, 7, and especially Mario Kart 8 and 8 Deluxe, it always brings back some of the old school tracks ever since during the Mario Kart past.
But even then though, that's actually a really cool aspect.
But why did they actually bring one board in this particular game alone?
Like, it also can be the same applies for how I can think of both Sonic Generations and Sonic Mania. Oh, you gotta be kidding me, we're screwed.
Yep, we're screwed by Wario.
I think because I managed to time it way too early like that, or in this case I was jumping too late. Oh, whatever.
But at least we still got some plenty of coins though.
But the only thing we need to aim for at this point is the forms of the actual stamps themselves. So,
I can't believe the actual minigame match is almost going to be over by then.
But anyways though.
And much like how it does in any other Mario Party games, we got ourselves the last 5 turn event.
Yeah, when it gets to turn number 16 of course.
Alright, so since, you know, Luigi's in last place for the majority of the time, this means you can now able to use this particular wall block, which, by the way, wall block makes a return ever since, you know, Mario Party Star Rush.
And let's go ahead and use one of our items now, the Golden Dice Mushroom, because I get a feeling, between Wario and Waluigi, they might try to go after the actual, Storm Balloon itself.
But at least we can, take 9, but even then though, that I don't know if we can able to make it in time, I don't think.
No, I don't think we can make it though, because I could assuming that Luigi makes it there first.
And we got 3 stamps, so that means we got ourselves 30 gazillion coins.
So that could be something worth mentioning for this throughout, but even then, that's the only reward you can get.
Okay, so it looks like Waluigi got himself his next star balloon.
It's a good thing we got ourselves our magic lamp to begin with. That's only because of how the fact that we can now able to use that to get ourselves our next potency of star balloons. So
that will be a very good thing.
Especially noticeable how the fact that, well, you know.
Okay, so next minigame we have right here is
assuming if the actual screen itself will show up. It doesn't matter which one we'll go for here. Oh, please don't you dare go and pick. Okay, good. Yeah, because if Waluigi picks the, you know, bumper bubbles, then we're probably going to be a little bit more of a troublesome when it comes to gyroscope controls and all that stuff. But again, we have no problems with that in the forms of Nintendo Wii, Nintendo Wii U especially, and even Nintendo Switch recently, so, you know. Okay, you know, the beat goes on.
Alright, B-A. B-A. Okay, very simple pattern here.
Okay. We almost pressed the X button by complete accident here.
Okay, so Wario passes it.
So let's see if Waluigi passes.
Really? Is that all you can do, Waluigi? I gotta tell you right from the start.
Okay, B, A, Y, and B. And of course we're gonna go for a pattern here.
Okay, we're going on the exact same pattern right there, which is in forms of
B-A-Y stands for bay.
yeah, like a bay, sunny, tropical location.
Anyway though,
We'll see if Luigi's out. Yep, he's out indeed.
so we claim our victory.
Yeah, I found the beat goes on in this version is a lot more better than the likes of the original Mario Party 3 version still, because of, not to mention how the fact that we're still doing the exact same concept altogether.
But also I get the feeling that the majority of these computer opponents always kept on getting screwed over most of the time. So naturally speaking, it makes it a hell of a lot more faster or something. It all depends though.
Oh, it's just only 2 star balloons. I guess it's all, it doesn't matter to us though, because I'm guessing we'll have to use our magic lamp. I think that's for the best.
And, it doesn't matter which way we're gonna go for at this point, so let's go ahead and just get only one, and that's it.
And, let's go ahead and just walk just down there.
But that's it, that's all I can do for here.
To the star balloon!
Thank you!
So naturally, we don't have to worry about the actual, star door or anything like that, that would, at least resistible for that, mind you.
But I digress.
Alright, so now our star count is now up to 7 at this point.
Even then though, that, I should probably mention about this right from the start, is that, you know that, as I mentioned earlier, that, this game does have an amiibo system.
Unlike the ones in Mario Party 10, that the amiibos users is most likely used for, the just only amiibo party in, during the likes of Mario Party 10.
And then in Star Rush actually has a lot of elements that you can do with the amiibos. Like for instance, in Toad Scramble,
You can get either the freebie item, whatever you wanted to,
and especially noticeable with the forms of what's classified for asking, saying,
you know, just try to get a freebie item, and if you manage to scan the actual data from Mario Party 10, and I think that's about it.
You can actually get yourselves a special variations of the dice blocks themselves, like gold or silver.
But even then, that's the only coolest part about during the likes of Star Rush.
And especially noticeable in Coin Avalon in Star Rush is that you can actually hold up to 2 items all in one run.
And also, not to mention in Balloon Bash, as I mentioned earlier, you can actually get yourselves a freebie different dice block, like a bronze, silver, or gold dice block. So,
talk about the devil right there. We got ourselves bumper bubbles.
Oh, that's terrific. But we have to cope with it, I think.
Let's do this.
You know how much I really hate motion controls to begin with.
But at least in this particular minigame, it might be a little bit more tolerable to compared to speeding bullets.
But still, it's incredibly hard when it comes to recording setups like this.
And it looks like Waluigi's in the lead.
Although it could be possible to be able to win this without doing absolutely nothing.
It might not be, because even then though, because computer opponents are on hard mode right about now.
And sometimes occasionally that, oh no. Oh god, this is nuts. Okay.
At least we passed it. Oh, don't you dare. Don't do this to me for my pinky promise.
Okay, so we got 10 at least. We got 10 of those balloons. Oh my god, this is aggravating. Yeah, even then, most people seem to hate this minigame too, because you need to deal with motion controls. But even then, though, that's only because you have to put up with this kinds of stuff a lot. And, you know, you get the idea with this particular control scheme in mind. So, naturally, speaking of such, though, we've now finally finishing that minigame, and I do apologize if my recording setup wasn't exactly the most built up with. The only recording method that we can actually deal with for this particular future points and onwards, folks, is the forms of, you know the game called, sorry about that, you know the game called Killer Grist Uprising? The game allows you to able to use the 3DS stand, so that way you can able to actually use the specifically the amount of AR cards usage, or even just for this recitable for anything else. But as for this point for the recording session or what have you, we can able to actually use that for quite some time. Okay, oh, Jesus. 20 coins? Jeez, that's disgusting. Yep, pretty disgusting indeed. From the, you know, trying to actually acclaim something. So, anywho, let's see who wins this. For my guessing, it might be typical Waluigi. So with this matter, that, since the actual, minigame draw, okay, it just doesn't do a double amount. I thought it does like a double amount, but somehow it wasn't though. Oh, just only one space off. Hold on. Let me just clarify for getting last item right here. And let's go ahead and use our double, let's go ahead and use the poison mushroom between both me and, or us though anyway, and Waluigi at the same time. So that way they can able to actually get distracted between Luigi and Wario. Okay, whoever gets the, okay, coin bonanza. But yeah, it's not as bad in during the likes of the 20 turns as what Daffy mentioned. But whenever I get to 50 turns in my own time, as I mentioned earlier, I got screwed over a lot. Even for the amount of rolls I can get, I always get lower numbers. And especially noticeable with some situations where you have to use these items system most likely. But even then though still, it's incredibly irritating if you ask me. Another luck-based minigame, or in this case, we're playing Strawberry Short Fuse. God, I hate this minigame. Yeah, even then though, we've actually played this game, well, this minigame rather, 4 times now. Yeah, because we already, lose this minigame twice because of, due to, you know, computer opponents getting really lucky getting those little, strawberry shortcakes and what have you, but again, you easily get distracted with all this, you know, a lot of trays, a lot of new keys especially, and that's all you really try to think of. But I don't usually think about it though. Okay, Luigi gets a bomb though. So yeah, that's all I can say about minigame match in the top 100 though, honestly. It's just basically, it's really lackluster this time around compared to Star Rush or Mario Party 10 for a small extent. At least I'll give Mario Party 10 some credit that normally Mario Party 10 actually claims 5 boards instead of just 1. Well, technically, 8, because normally in Mario Party mode only has 5 boards, and Bowser Party only has 5 boards. Or actually, no, 3 boards, I should say. I know it's been a long while since I'm actually going to be going back into Mario Party 10, ever since when I've recently managed to got a digital download version when I was meeting up with Shadow the Hedgehog and what have you, because he also got himself Nintendo Wii U, along with Mario Party 10 now. But, yeah, that's what I can just try and discuss upon on things. Alright, so we now made it up in the final turn in minigame match. So, yeah, let's see how this one goes out. And of course, it would be better if we're actually going to be using ourselves our glorious magic lamp. Summon me, Genie, to the actual star itself. But except the fact there's no Mushroom Genie this time, which is a shame, really. Yeah, because normally in Mario Party 2 and 3 and 4, normally they contain a Mushroom Genie to begin with. And, because of that, though, the Mushroom Genie was no longer to be exist again. That just makes it incredibly lackluster when it comes to, originality. But anyways, though, and I believe we got ourselves the final minigame thanks to someone else actually got, oh yeah, I think Wario actually got the 5-coin balloon right there. But even then, that wasn't until whenever we buy, just only 1 star. But I guess assuming it depends on what turns you be playing through. Normally you can actually get yourselves, I believe, in this game this time around though, you can now actually buy up to, 1 through 5 star balloons this time. And, excuse me, and of course we got ourselves our exclusive item, only exclusive onto this mode, in even the top 100 game itself, we got ourselves our lucky card.
means if you manage to use that, only can be used on the minigame roulette by simply just pressing the yourselves the X button. So, if you want to get yourselves the majority of minigames so badly, and you can simply just use that anytime, anywhere. Oh, Jesus, Louise. We're actually going ourselves a little bit of a tough spot. Oh, you honeycomb havoc again.
Long minigame to end with.
But we'll just get this over with fast.
Hey, I know our commentary is a little bit boring for you guys. It's probably because of how the fact that,
well, first off, that I felt the minigame match is a little bit more boring compared to how it does it in Star Rush, because, you know, Star Rush actually has a lot of plentiful boards.
But normally that's, how the fact that, it does have a lot more to it from Star Rush.
But, except the fact that in this game this time it's just, you know... Although,
again, we've already established from yesterday's that the only strongest point about this game is definitely the forms of the returning of the classic, minigames they all know and love from the past Mario Party's entries.
But apart from that though, that's all we can think of.
And, you know how the fact that game called, both Sonic Generations and Sonic Mania, not to mention that,
normally they actually did manage to get those, some of these zones returning from the forms of not only Sonic Generations, but also Sonic Mania as well, from the past Sonic titles.
To be more specifically in Sonic Generations, between Sonic 1 to Sonic Colors, for the forms of the returning stages, but with a new makeover of any kind.
But naturally so, it makes it a little bit more unique with those particular games in mind, just to celebrate between these different franchises.
But even then though, since that the Mario Party series was almost now 20 years old at one point or another,
I'm guessing we're gonna get screwed again, because, normally our strategy could potentially work out. Are you kidding me?
Is that all you're really trying to do right here, Waluigi? That's just kind of a little bit of a more of a downgrade.
But naturally speaking, we've now claimed our victory now.
Alright, sweet.
Alright.
So yeah, I think that was it for our minigame match in Mario Party the Top 100. As we already mentioned this earlier, it's really lame compared to how it does it in the Top 1... No, Star Rush, for a small extent.
Finish!
But I digress.
All turns finished.
And as we expected, that much like how it does in Mario Party Star Rush, you get yourselves all bonus stars at the end. Because yes, bonus stars do make a return ever since, you know, Star Rush, in the forms of most likely from Balloon Bash mode. So first we have its Rich Star. Whoever gets that star.
Luigi? Huh?
We got more coins than that.
Oh, wait a minute, it's basically equivalent to Queen Star.
Running Star, I believe that goes to us, I think.
Oh, it's Waluigi. Okay.
And the final star we can get, oh I'm hoping though anyway, is Easygoing Star.
Which basically who doesn't advance as many spaces, which is us.
Because normally we haven't moved too much spaces that often.
And that was it.
So our final results is being tallied, and let's see who's the winner in the minigame match.
See, I was really hoping if they're actually trying to bring back some of these classic boards, you know, from Mario Party 1 through 10, but again, I was really hoping if they actually promised that, but again, it's just not promising.
You're the superstar!
Alright, we got ourselves the superstar.
New record!
And we only got 9 stars.
But even then though, what happens if you do manage to bypass through 10 stars, you're probably wondering, specifically on 20 turns.
Similar to how it does it in Star Rush and Super Star Rush mechanic in Star Rush. Normally you get yourselves just only, Star Rush or Super Star Rush. That even then though, you can get yourselves extra points with it.
But even then though, in the end, in the top 100 anyway, minigame match is pretty much a bare bones looking mode.
But anyways, enough about this little jibby jabber, since this video has gone really long enough for almost 15 minutes or so.
So I guess the next time around though, in the forms of Mario Party the Top 100, is that we only got 3 modes left. But the forms of next up we're going to be hitting on to is Championship Battles. So see you guys next time through that.
So see you guys then. And every pony out there, whatever.
So, see you guys then. Later fellas.